In 2009, the world teetered on the brink of economic collapse. Banks faltered, homes foreclosed, and families lost everything. Panic pervaded Wall Street as institutions crumbled, triggering a global financial tsunami. Now, governments injected trillions in a last-ditch effort to salvage the world as we knew it, and so a decade-long journey began to rebuild the world we once knew. But amidst the ruins of a shattered economy, a clandestine figure emerged. And in the wake of the financial chaos, this enigmatic individual quietly released his vision for a new world. A white paper changed the world forever. Satoshi Nakamoto, a name that appeared out of nowhere in 2008, attached to a 9-page PDF titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. No selfies, no company, no face, just code and a promise to create money that no government could ever control. Now, over the next 2 years, Satoshi communicated online through obscure forums, cryptographic emails, and early developer chats. Always polite, always calm, and always one step ahead. Then, in 2011, he vanished. No farewell video, no goodbye post, just one final message. I've moved on to other things. It's in good hands now. And since that day, every coin he ever mined, over 1.1 million Bitcoin, worth over $70 billion, has stayed quiet and untouched, a digital monument to the world's most valuable mystery. And then, it happened. Something flickered. Just a trace amount, 0.0005 Bitcoin, barely just a few dollars worth, but it wasn't supposed to happen. At first, people thought it was a tracking error, maybe a bot misreading old data. But within hours, more anomalies started to appear. Dust, transaction, old addresses pinged for the first time in years. Nothing major, just enough to feel intentional. Now, to most people, this was just noise, random activity on a public ledger. But to those who know Bitcoin's history, it was a pulse, a heartbeat, an echo of a time long before. And the question wasn't if it meant something, it was who or what was behind it. Now, it started as internet noise, just a handful of blockchain trackers noticing a few ancient wallets coming to life. But within 24 hours, that noise became impossible to ignore. Exchanges freezing, withdrawals amid suspicious wallet activity, government analysts confirmed movement from Genesis-era addresses, and no one could explain it. Wallets tied to the Genesis block, Bitcoin's first mined coins, began broadcasting signals, not transactions, not payments, just messages. And each one contained a string of code, fragments of words. People were selling everything. Others were buying it like it was the end of the world. And in a way, it was. Because at 11:37 Eastern Standard Time, the activity stopped. Every wallet went silent once more. And no one knew what it meant. The code fragments stopped, the blockchain went still, and then out of nowhere, a message appeared. You've misunderstood what Bitcoin was for. It was never meant to serve governments or corporations. It was meant to serve you. By the people, for the people. And when the final block is mined, if it remains in your hands, it will perfect the world. But if greed or power take hold, it will be taken away. And below that message, a digital signature verified by the oldest private key in crypto history. The creator had returned. And within minutes, the world stopped. Governments, miners, analysts, all frozen by this chilling warning. For, in his words, echoed a ghostly reminder of an ancient story of greed and control that seemed too familiar. Exodus 16:11. The story of manna. Long before Bitcoin, before ledgers and codes and networks, there was another test. A nation lost in the wilderness, hungry and desperate, crying out for salvation. And from the sky, an answer. From heaven came a miracle, pure and white as frost, bred from the air itself, and each morning it covered the ground like snow made of light. And the people were told, "Gather only what you need, nothing more, nothing less," for the gift was meant to sustain and to be shared amongst the people. But some disobeyed. They gathered more than they needed. They hoarded it for tomorrow. They didn't trust the promise. They only trusted their fear. And when dawn came, their greed was exposed. The manna had rotted. The gift had turned against them. And so it is again. Bitcoin was meant to nourish humanity, not enslave it, and when it's hoarded, manipulated, and centralized, it will decay. And then came the revelation that silenced the skeptics. Hidden within the data was a countdown, a single line of code leading to Bitcoin's final block. And the code spoke of a reckoning, a judgment not written by man, but by the code itself. When the last Bitcoin is mined, the network will stand at a crossroads, a final test to who truly holds power. And if it remains decentralized by the people, for the people, the code will awaken. The network will transcend and will birth a system of perfect balance, incorruptible, self-healing, and eternal. A digital Eden where wealth flows freely like water, prosperity without permission, and abundance without masters. But if greed prevails, and if the few rule the many, and if governments and corporations clutch what was meant for all, the light will dim, the code will wither, and the system will die. And after that message, the wallets went quiet. No more activity, no more messages, no more anything. Just the silent countdown buried in his words. Days turned to weeks, and the golden light began to fade. Blocks that once pulsed with life grew dim, as if the very soul of the network hesitated, waiting to see which path humanity would choose. Because the message wasn't a prophecy of destruction, it was a choice, a reminder that each block, each transaction was a vote for the world we deserve, for better or worse.